Never Give Up is a really good film. This was released in 2023. It's written and directed by Robles, and we have a cast including Harrison Stone as Brad. We also have Thomas Parobek as younger Brad and Charlie Hitt as teenage Brad. And this is the true story of Brad Mins. And I wasn't unaware of him or his story, so I went in with this with absolutely no knowledge. And with that in mind, I can't comment on how accurate it is, but it has 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Granted, that's only across 67 reviews and ratings, but in general, there's nothing that leads me to believe that it's inaccurate. But if you have any thoughts on that, please feel free to share. It is the true story of how Brad Mins was playing tennis in the men's single tennis finals in the Deaf World Games in 1985. And it's not a topic I know anything about. Absolutely nothing. So I learned a lot. But yes, I liked the education, but what I liked most about this was the emotional impact. We spend a lot of time with Brad as a young boy, and there are some attitudes towards his deafness, particularly from his teacher. Very unhelpful attitudes, and it was quite emotional to have to witness Brad being treated in such a way. And then, of course, we have the tennis aspect as he becomes passionate about tennis, and I won't say exactly what happens and how we get from one point to the next, but it was a really fascinating story. I thought the pacing was really great. I liked the fact that we spent a decent amount of time with Brad in his younger years, as it meant we could develop a connection with the character. We're really following a lot of his journey, and I think that made it quite a bit more emotional. The performances are brilliant. Again, I don't know how accurate the characters of Brad in this are to the true individual, or how accurate his childhood was to his true childhood, but purely from an entertainment perspective, it ticks all of the right boxes. I'm not that bothered about tennis, and that did not matter at all. I'm not into most sports, but I find that a good sports film can still be really engaging. And this one, I don't know why, I just got a small lump in my throat there. Got very emotional for a second. I found this to be really effective and a really beautiful story. The pacing is great. The narrative is well told. Again, don't know how accurate it is, but I'm assuming it's fine. And Brad is a very likable character, very easy to emotionally get behind his journey and absolutely want the best for him. So needless to say, I thought Never Give Up was a great experience, very moving, beautifully told, great characters, a nice emotional journey. And if it sounds like a story that might appeal to you, if you're just curious to see what it's like, then of course, it's one that I would say is worth checking out.